Did you know that just a single serving of undercooked beans can contain up to 70,000 units of a naturally occurring toxin called phytohemagglutinin? That's enough to send you straight to the emergency room within hours. This isn't meant to scare you. This is actual data from the Centers for Disease Control on foodborne illness outbreaks in adults over 60. And it's just the beginning of what makes certain beans potentially dangerous for seniors. While beans are often celebrated as healthy foods, the reality becomes much more complex when we consider age-related changes to digestion, nutrient absorption, and immune function. For older adults, certain beans can quietly trigger inflammation, disrupt blood sugar levels, or interfere with critical medications. The troubling part is that most people over 60 are eating these exact beans daily, believing they're making a healthy choice. The truth is that some seemingly harmless beans are actually loaded with lectins, enzyme inhibitors, or poorly tolerated fibers that affect aging digestive systems more severely than ever before. Unless you prepare them perfectly or avoid them entirely, they may be accelerating aging from the inside out. Today, we're breaking down the 5 beans you should never eat if you're over 60, and explaining why even one of them can damage your gut, blood pressure, or immune system. Please stay until we reach number 1 on our list. It's the most surprising and potentially the most dangerous, especially if you've ever had heart or kidney issues. Before we begin, if you find this information valuable, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who might be eating these supposedly healthy beans every day without knowing the risks. The 5 beans to avoid after age 60. Number 5. Red kidney beans. Red kidney beans are one of the worst offenders when it comes to hidden dangers in your kitchen. Most people think soaking them overnight is enough preparation. It absolutely is not. Undercooked kidney beans contain dangerously high levels of phytohemagglutinin, a plant-based lectin that's toxic to humans, particularly when your gut lining is already more vulnerable, as it often is in older adults. Just 4 or 5 undercooked kidney beans can cause intense nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and severe stomach cramping. For seniors, this can quickly spiral into dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, and even hospitalization. What makes this worse is that many slow cooker recipes include dry beans without boiling them first, which keeps these dangerous lectins active and potent. Unlike bacteria that can be killed with moderate heat, lectins are remarkably stubborn. You must boil kidney beans for at least 10 minutes at 212 degrees Fahrenheit to neutralize the toxin. Anything less exposes your digestive system to an inflammatory protein that binds to your gut lining and disrupts nutrient absorption. Studies in older populations show that long-term, low-level lectin exposure can increase the risk of leaky gut syndrome, autoimmune conditions, and chronic inflammation. Seniors are especially vulnerable because their gut barrier thins with age, and their immune responses slow down naturally. While kidney beans are rich in iron and fiber, the trade-off isn't worth it unless you're absolutely certain they've been cooked correctly. If you buy canned kidney beans, they're usually safe because they've been properly processed. But dry ones require precise preparation. For most people over 60, it's wiser to choose safer alternatives that don't carry this built-in biochemical risk. Number 4. Soybeans. Soybeans might appear to be health foods since they're in so many low cholesterol and heart-healthy products. But not all soy is created equal, and if you're over 60, you need to be extremely cautious. Processed soy, like soy protein isolate, found in meat substitutes, protein shakes, and energy bars, isn't the same as traditional fermented soy eaten in small amounts in Asian diets. The problem begins with the high concentration of isoflavones and anti-nutrients in processed soy products. Isoflavones are phytoestrogens, plant compounds that mimic estrogen in your body. While small amounts might benefit women in menopause, too much can interfere with thyroid function and disrupt hormone balance in both men and women. For seniors already dealing with thyroid issues, or taking medications that affect hormone levels, this can lead to persistent fatigue, unexpected weight gain, and troubling brain fog. One study published in Environmental Health Perspectives found that people consuming high levels of soy isoflavones from supplements or processed foods had measurable changes in thyroid-stimulating hormone within just weeks. This matters even more after 60 because age-related thyroid dysfunction naturally increases every year. Beyond hormones, highly processed soy is loaded with trypsin inhibitors that interfere with protein digestion and phytic acid that blocks absorption of crucial minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc. These are nutrients seniors desperately need for bone strength, immunity, and overall vitality. If you're eating soy occasionally as edamame or tofu, especially fermented versions like miso or tempeh, you're probably fine. But if soy appears multiple times daily in your meat substitutes, protein drinks, and snacks, it could be silently undermining your health rather than supporting it. Number 3. Fava beans. Fava beans, also known as broad beans, might look harmless and even gourmet, but for certain people, especially seniors, they can trigger a potentially life-threatening condition. The danger comes from a hereditary enzyme deficiency called G6PD deficiency, affecting over 400 million people worldwide, with many never being diagnosed. This condition becomes increasingly problematic with age and accumulated health stress. This enzyme plays a critical role in protecting red blood cells from oxidative damage. When someone with this deficiency consumes fava beans, the oxidative compounds overwhelm their system, causing red blood cells to rupture in a process called hemolysis. This can lead to severe anemia, dark urine, jaundice, extreme fatigue, shortness of breath, and in severe cases, kidney failure. Older adults face especially high risk because their bodies are less able to compensate for rapid red blood cell loss, and many already manage anemia or cardiovascular issues. The condition is so closely linked to fava beans that the reaction has its own medical name, favism. In one hospital-based study, seniors with undiagnosed G6PD deficiency who ate fava beans had triple the risk of requiring emergency intervention compared to younger patients. The frightening part is that most people don't know they have this deficiency until it's triggered. Unless you've been specifically tested, there's no way to know for certain. That's why fava beans should be completely avoided by anyone over 60 unless they've been screened for G6PD status. With safer legumes widely available, there's no reason to risk your red blood cells on a food that could potentially destroy them. Number 2. Lima beans. Lima beans might seem like a gentle, bland side dish from childhood, but they harbor a dangerous secret: cyanogenic glycosides. These are compounds that convert to cyanide inside your body. In the United States, commercially sold lima beans must be grown with low cyanide levels and cooked thoroughly to meet safety standards. But not all lima beans are equal, especially those from international markets or bulk bins. For seniors with weakened detoxification systems, even moderate exposure can become serious. When consumed raw or undercooked, lima beans release hydrogen cyanide into your digestive system. Small amounts can cause nausea, headaches, dizziness, and confusion. Larger doses can lead to breathing difficulties, loss of consciousness, and, in extreme cases, death. The Food and Drug Administration recommends boiling lima beans for at least 10 to 15 minutes with the lid off, allowing the cyanide gas to dissipate safely. However, many seniors using pressure cookers or slow-cooking methods may not apply enough direct heat for sufficient time to deactivate these toxins. What makes this more dangerous is the misconception that softer beans like lima beans are easier on older stomachs. In reality, poorly prepared lima beans deliver a toxic load directly to a system that's slower to process it. In seniors with heart disease, kidney strain, or impaired liver function, the risks multiply significantly. Unless you're boiling these thoroughly and sourcing them from trusted suppliers, you're better off avoiding them entirely. The nutritional benefits don't outweigh the risks, especially when you can't be completely certain they've been prepared safely. Number 1. Canned baked beans. This is the one most seniors eat weekly, if not daily, without suspecting anything. Canned baked beans are often viewed as a safe, comforting, easy protein source. But for people over 60, this is one of the most deceptive and harmful foods in your pantry. The problem isn't the beans themselves, it's everything they're soaked and stewed in. Canned baked beans are typically loaded with added sugar, sodium, and chemical preservatives. A single cup can contain over 20 grams of sugar and nearly 1,000 milligrams of sodium, almost half the daily limit for older adults. This isn't just bad for your waistline, it's disastrous for your heart. High sodium intake contributes directly to hypertension, which already affects over 2/3 of seniors. Meanwhile, added sugars spike blood glucose, trigger inflammation, and contribute to insulin resistance, a dangerous precursor to type 2 diabetes. According to a large study published in the Journal of Gerontology Medical Sciences, older adults consuming the most ultra-processed foods, including canned beans, had 25% higher risk of early cognitive decline compared to those cooking from scratch. But it's not just sugar and salt. Many canned baked beans come in BPA-lined containers and contain artificial flavors and preservatives that disrupt gut bacteria. In seniors, this disruption can lead to bloating, malabsorption, weakened immunity, and even depressive symptoms. The worst part is that because baked beans are soft, sweet, and easy to chew, they're often recommended to seniors with dental issues or low appetite. This means many people over 60 eat them multiple times weekly, thinking they're making a healthy choice. In reality, they're consuming a triple threat of sugar, salt, and synthetic chemicals, all hidden in a nostalgic dish. The solution isn't avoiding beans altogether. It's ditching processed versions and relearning how to prepare beans that heal, not harm. The 5 beans that support longevity. Now that you understand which beans to avoid, let's explore something more powerful and literally life-extending. Not all beans are dangerous. When chosen wisely, beans can be one of the most powerful anti-aging foods you can eat, especially after 60. In the world's longest living communities, places like Okinawa, Japan, and Nicoya, Costa Rica, beans are daily staples. This isn't just cultural tradition, it's biological wisdom. In these blue zones, researchers found that people consuming beans 4 or more times weekly lived up to 4 years longer on average, even after accounting for other lifestyle factors. Why? Because beans provide slow, steady protein, prebiotic fiber, and bioactive plant compounds that nourish your gut, reduce inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, and enhance brain health. But not all beans are equal. Some are richer in specific antioxidants. Others support heart rhythm or boost nitric oxide, naturally lowering blood pressure. And there's one bean that researchers found can actually reverse certain markers of cellular aging. If you're over 60 and want to eat for quality of life, not just survival, pay attention to these 5 beans. We'll cover what makes each one powerful, the studies backing them, and exactly how to prepare them for maximum benefits. Number 5. Black beans. Black beans are small but mighty for adding years to your life. They're packed with resistant starch, a carbohydrate that resists digestion and feeds beneficial gut bacteria instead. This maintains a healthy microbiome, which plays critical roles in digestion, mental clarity, and inflammation control. What makes black beans especially powerful for people over 60 is their effect on blood sugar. In a Journal of Nutrition study, participants consuming black beans with high carbohydrate meals had 33% lower post-meal blood glucose spikes compared to those who didn't. This means adding black beans to your plate actively protects against insulin resistance and diabetes, conditions extremely common with aging. They're also rich in magnesium and potassium, minerals that regulate blood pressure, support muscle function, and reduce stroke risk. Black beans contain anthocyanins too, the same antioxidants found in blueberries, which reduce oxidative stress and protect blood vessels. For preparation, soak them overnight and cook slowly with herbs like bay leaf or cumin, which aid digestion and reduce gas. For an easy longevity-boosting meal, combine black beans with quinoa, garlic, and olive oil, then add fresh greens. It's simple, nourishing, and supports both gut and glucose health. Number 4. Lentils. Lentils are often overlooked but are among the most scientifically validated foods for healthy aging, especially for brain protection. Unlike larger beans, lentils digest easily and are gentler on older digestive systems. Their biggest strength lies in how they interact with your brain and even your DNA. In an American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study, older adults eating lentils at least 3 times weekly had 30% lower homocysteine levels, a compound linked to cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease. Lentils are rich in folate and B vitamins, which lower homocysteine and support healthy neurotransmitter function. This translates to clearer thinking, better memory, and potentially lower dementia risk. But it goes deeper. Lentils contain polyphenols that activate sirtuins, sometimes called longevity genes. Sirtuins help repair DNA, reduce inflammation, and increase mitochondrial efficiency, keeping cells young and resilient. This means lentils may not just protect health, but slow aging at the cellular level. For best results, cook lentils with turmeric and black pepper to amplify anti-inflammatory properties. They don't need soaking. Cook in just 20 to 25 minutes and absorb flavors beautifully. Use them in soups, salads, or as stew bases. Consistency is key. Enjoying them 2 to 3 times weekly can significantly improve your brain aging trajectory. Number 3. Chickpeas. Chickpeas, also called garbanzo beans, are nutritional multitaskers. For seniors, they deliver targeted benefits to heart health, cholesterol regulation, and hormonal balance. What makes chickpeas exceptional is their combination of fiber, plant sterols, and slow-digesting carbohydrates. This trio reduces LDL cholesterol, supports steady blood pressure, and maintains consistent energy levels. In a 12-week British Journal of Nutrition trial, adults consuming 1 cup of chickpeas daily reduced LDL cholesterol by an average of 15.8% compared to those eating wheat-based complex carbohydrates. That's major reduction, especially for people over 60 trying to avoid medication or managing cardiovascular issues. Chickpeas contain phytoestrogens, plant compounds providing mild estrogen activity. For postmenopausal women, this can ease hot flashes and mood swings. For men, modest amounts may help regulate testosterone conversion, supporting hormonal balance and reducing prostate inflammation risk. Chickpeas are also zinc-rich, supporting immune response and wound healing, functions that naturally weaken with age. To maximize benefits, soak dry chickpeas overnight, then simmer with garlic, thyme, or lemon juice to increase mineral absorption. If using canned, rinse thoroughly to remove excess sodium. Number 2. White beans. White beans like cannellini or navy beans are quiet powerhouses for aging adults, particularly for supporting strong bones and balanced circulation. What sets them apart is their calcium, magnesium, and potassium density, minerals crucial for skeletal integrity and blood pressure control. As we age, calcium becomes harder to absorb, and many seniors risk osteopenia or osteoporosis, leading to fractures, mobility issues, and early mortality. White beans provide highly absorbable plant-based calcium, with 1 cup delivering up to 161 milligrams, about 16% of daily recommendations. These beans are high in magnesium, which activates vitamin D and directs calcium into bones rather than letting it accumulate in arteries where it forms dangerous plaque. Combined with potassium, which relaxes blood vessels and reduces sodium-related tension, white beans become vascular allies. A meta-analysis in hypertension research found that increased intake of magnesium and potassium-rich legumes, like white beans, correlated with 12% reduction in systolic blood pressure among seniors. To maximize benefits, prepare white beans with aromatics like rosemary and onion, pairing with leafy greens for calcium-boosting effects. Soak dry beans overnight to reduce phytic acid, or use BPA-free canned versions as shortcuts. Number 1. Azuki beans. The number 1 longevity bean is one you may have never tried. Azuki beans, small red beans from East Asia, are true superfoods for people over 60. Packed with antioxidants, soluble fiber, and plant compounds directly influencing cellular aging, Azuki beans have centuries of traditional use now validated by modern science. Their uniqueness comes from high polyphenol concentrations, including catechins found in green tea, which reduce oxidative damage and support cellular repair. In a nutrition and metabolism study, older adults consuming daily Azuki beans for 8 weeks showed 22% reduction in C-reactive protein, a key inflammation marker. This inflammation drives most age-related decline, from joint stiffness and heart disease to dementia and cancer. Azuki beans contain molybdenum, a trace mineral supporting liver detox pathways, and folate for DNA repair and new cell formation. The most exciting data comes from a Japanese aging cell study, which found Azuki bean extract increased expression of FOXO3, a gene linked to extended lifespan and cellular resilience. This means this little bean doesn't just fight aging symptoms but may influence the aging blueprint itself. For preparation, Azuki beans require shorter cooking time without overnight soaking. Simmer gently with kombu seaweed to enhance mineral content and digestibility. Use them in savory rice bowls, soups, or even mild sweet pastes for desserts. Their mild, earthy flavor makes them easy weekly additions. You've now learned the 5 beans to avoid and 5 that could add years to your life. The truth is that food doesn't just fill us, it shapes us. For those over 60, every meal is either a step toward longevity or gradual decline. The good news is you're now equipped to choose wisely. Start by removing dangerous beans from your pantry and gradually introducing beneficial ones into weekly meal planning. Your body will reward you with improved energy, better digestion, and potentially extra years of vibrant living. Were you surprised by any beans you should avoid after 60? Do you already include longevity beans in your weekly meals? Your experiences matter, and sharing them helps others make informed choices. Remember, healthy aging isn't about perfection, it's about making informed choices, one meal at a time. Now you have the knowledge to make those choices count. Thank you for joining us today, and remember, it's never too late to start eating for longevity.